Adam Jaksa with the Lansing Lugnuts, now joined by outfielder Jake Suddleson. The season's underway. How does it feel to have baseball back here in 2021?
It's pretty great, honestly. It was a long layoff, so it's good to be playing again.
What was last year like for you? How did you cope with everything going on, and how did you try and work on your game?
It was a little difficult, especially when restrictions got pretty strict. But honestly, it was just about finding little things to do, finding parks where you could do stuff, finding cages that were open, and just finding ways to get work in. That was the main thing, just doing a little bit every day, trying to get better, trying to stay ready, which was hard, but everyone was going through it. So you just had to make it work.
With no games, I mean, trying to look at it on the positive outlook, you had more time to work individually on yourself. Was there anything that you honed in on or you feel like you improved on over the last year?
Yeah, I was doing a lot, trying to do a lot of defensive work, just because there's a public park by my house, so that was the easiest thing I felt like to get better at. So that was pretty much every day of just going there, spending some time, and having my friends just hit me fly balls and try to get a little better each and every day. But like you said, it's because there were no games. I was also just trying to focus on getting a little better everywhere. It was sort of a time to take a step back maybe and really focus on some stuff that were pushing aside, or if you're playing games, you can't really think about everything at one time. So it's usually like one thing at a time, trying to get a little bit better. But with no games, it's a lot easier to really just take a step back, like look in the mirror and say like, okay, like what do I need to do every day, and take the time and do that stuff.
Let's go back all the way when you're younger. When did you get into baseball, and why has this been a sport that you've stuck through?
I think I was maybe two-ish when I went to my first game. I think that's right. And I think I went to a Dodger game. They were playing the Giants, and my parents always tell me that I was like freaking out the whole time because I thought that the Giants were like actually gigantic people. So I was terrified. But then I got there, and just the smell, the atmosphere, all the ballpark things that are going on, the crack of the bat. I was just hooked. I started playing t-ball very shortly after that, and really just haven't stopped since. So
you grow up in the Los Angeles area. Have you come up as a big Dodgers fan?
Yeah, growing up, I always went to Dodger games. My grandfather would always take me, and my grandmother, and me and my siblings, and we would always go and just just enjoy the game, spend some time with family. And beyond that, the games were just always on in my house. Just summer nights in the background, even if we're not really watching. So it was sort of just a ever-present thing growing up in the summers in my house.
Unique last year because you get signed by the A's, but then a month or two later, the Dodgers finally break through and win the first World Series in your lifetime. Was that a pretty cool moment for you?
Yeah, my family was very, very excited about that. It's been a challenging, not super challenging, because they're always in the mix, but growing up and never winning was always just pretty sad. I got pretty used to being let down in October by the Dodgers. So it was nice to see them finally break through and win it for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was. For you growing up right there on the Pacific Ocean side in the Los Angeles area, are you a big water guy? Did you do a lot of like surfing or anything, or what was that like growing up?
Yeah, I surfed a lot when I was younger. I've always enjoyed being at the beach. That's sort of where I go to just clear my head, hang out with friends. A lot of my friends are really big surfers. So during the long break, I started to take it up a little bit, and I went a few times. Still pretty bad, honestly, but I'm gonna keep trying to get better. It's a nice, beyond like the actual surfing part of it, just like sitting out in the waves is just a very cathartic thing, I think.
So you grow up on the west side of the United States by the water, and you said, okay, I'm going to go to the east side and go to Harvard. Take us through how you made that decision to go to the opposite side of the country for college.
Yeah. I get this one a lot, actually.
Common question, I figured.
Yeah. The thing about Harvard is the education is unparalleled. The baseball was still very competitive. So when they came and offered me, it was really just a no-brainer in my opinion. My education's always been very, very important to my family. So I think that, I was just looking for a great fit academically and athletically for me. Harvard offered it, and I went there, had a great time. The cold is a little challenging sometimes, but you get used to it pretty quickly. So once you get through the first, few games of, oh my gosh, it's freezing outside, it's not bad at all. And I enjoyed my time there thoroughly.
It braced you for these early months in Lansing, right?
That's right. We've been talking about that because actually Pat, my roommate, is also went to Harvard, and we were talking about it. We just feel like we're back at school, just doing it again. So we're used to it. There goes the leaf blower. Sorry, it's right outside. But we're used to it. It was a little chilly a few nights ago, a little windy. It got into the 30s. That was pretty cold. But other than that, it's nothing new.
You said when Harvard offered, you knew. Was it a tough decision? Do you have other offers before that you were really looking in depth to go into college, or was Harvard just clear and above, standing out above the rest?
Yeah, I had other offers. I think that just at the end of the day, Harvard was the best fit for me. It had everything I was looking for. It wasn't, I said it was no brainer. There were moments where it was a tough decision for sure. But at the end of the day, I think it was absolutely the right one.
And you graduated last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All graduated.
That had to have been a pretty, again, weird year, and baseball is not happening, but to be able to accomplish that had to be a really good feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It was a weird feeling though, because they kind of just mailed us our degrees. So it wasn't like the big ceremony of walking across the stage with your family watching, which was kind of, that wasn't so great, but it was the circumstance. It was what was going on. The world was in a tough situation. So I get it. And they definitely did a good job with all the virtual stuff. So that was good. But other than that sort of little letdown, it was a pretty cool moment for sure.
Okay, so one more question about Harvard. So you grew up around the water to kind of escape out in the Los Angeles, California area. What did you find that you enjoyed doing out in Massachusetts that maybe you hadn't done growing up on the other side?
It's a good question. I don't know. The East Coast is a very different vibe to me than the West Coast. I found that the East Coast was a little more fast paced and everyone's sort of bustling around, the West Coast is more, I don't know, maybe it's just stereotypes, but I feel like the West Coast is more sort of laid back. I kind of feel like I was always running around everywhere on the East Coast. The unfortunate thing with playing a college sport is that there wasn't a whole lot of time to do a lot of, sightseeing and whatnot. The favorite thing that I did while I was there though, I was lucky enough to take a class that gave me the opportunity to just go literally just explore the city and take notes. It was an urban history class, and I spent an entire Sunday just walking through the north end of Boston, which is a very cool area to just walk around. There's a lot of history there. So being able to just spend an entire day walking around a part of the city that I probably wouldn't have seen that in depth had I not done that, that was probably pretty cool. I just brought my camera, started taking pictures, had a great time. It was also just really relaxing to walk around.
So you've now been on the West Coast, the East Coast, spring training down in Phoenix, high A ball up in the Midwest in Michigan. I mean, you've been all over the place. Seems like you're exploring a ton of new spots lately.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen a lot of the country for sure, especially on the drive up. That was 2 days of just really just seeing a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have seen otherwise, and that was pretty cool. Baseball has taken me to a bunch of places that I don't think I would have ever gone had I not played baseball, and that's one of the things that I'm very grateful for, having played the sport for so long.
You ever been to Michigan before? What are your thoughts so far?
I had been to the Detroit airport before for a connecting flight. That was about it. I like Michigan a lot. It's Lansing is very there's a lot of cool nature stuff around, which I like, especially coming from LA and Boston, where there's not so much of that. Just being able to, like walk around through the trees, all that stuff, just not a huge cluster of people. Also, that's sort of been the highlight for me so far.
You get signed by the Athletics in the summer of last year. Tell us how that all went down and what that moment was like for you.
Pretty stressful, honestly. It was a huge just relief, honestly, when it happened. There were definitely moments where there was some doubt about what was going to go down. So just, my family was very supportive. They were there with me the whole time, obviously, being in lockdown. And so having them with me really helped just deal with the stress of the whole thing, because it was kind of a roller coaster. But at the end of the day, getting signed and being able to continue doing what I love is a huge blessing, and I'm very grateful for that.
What did you think when you heard it was the Athletics? And you had a teammate that you had played with that was also in that organization.
That was very cool, knowing that I was going to be with Pat at least for a little bit in the spring, and then obviously, ending up at the same affiliate. That was very cool. And then also the A's, California, getting to stay in my home state. That was kind of cool too. So yeah, no, it was just very exciting, to be honest. And then all those other things were just like icing on the cake, just a little extra.
Tell us a little bit about Patrick McCall and what we should know about this guy, besides that he's 6'6", plays first, and he can hit the ball pretty well.
Yeah, Pat can really swing it, that's for sure. What to know about Pat? Pat loves yoga. He's doing yoga right now over there. He loves yoga. He loves Wim Hof breathing. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. If not, go check it out. It's some pretty cool stuff. He is a pescatarian. He really just he's probably the best person I know at doing the little things to keep his body in a good spot. He does a lot of reading about this stuff and listens to a lot of podcasts and tries to just absorb information. And I don't know, he went to Harvard too. He's a pretty smart cat. So yeah, that's Pat McCall.
We're going to ask him the same question when we interview him and get the scoop on Jake Suddleson. So that's coming.
Okay.
You mentioned Harvard. You guys have a couple Ivy League guys on the team. That had to have been unique as well to just see a few other guys from your league.
Yeah. Well, we played against Simo a good amount. I think he was a year older than me. So I played against him at Cornell a bunch. Michael Danielak is a little bit older. I think I played against him as a freshman. But yeah, no, just, we've all had similar experiences in college and through baseball, through college. So just being able to compare experiences and, get to know someone that you've played against and who they are, but you don't know them. That's always a cool experience too. So having a bunch of conference guys on this team has been pretty cool. And yeah.
So far, we're only a week and a half in or so, or nearly 2 weeks, but it seems like you guys have a pretty good group of talented guys and just level-headed, good dudes to be around. Your thoughts so far on this Lansing Lugnuts 2021 team?
Yeah. Well, the guys are all great. The coaching staff's obviously great. Everyone's been sort of top notch so far. I think that we're just really excited to be out here playing. And I think that, I agree with you. We do have a very talented group of guys. We also, from a mental standpoint, like you said, very level headed, and also guys that just root for each other, get behind one another, want to see it. We want to see each other do well. So it's been great so far, and I'm excited to see where we can take it this year.
What's the deal with all the doubles? I mean, you've got 4, the team's got 25. That's the best in the minors right now. What is it about this team knocking the 2 baggers so far through the first couple of weeks?
I don't know. I just hope we can keep it going. Doubles are really fun, no matter who's hitting them. So hopefully we can keep going and just keep hitting those gaps, keep hitting it down the line. I don't know. I don't know what sort of sparked it, but I mean, we got a team that can swing it. So we just want to keep it going.
Yeah, Jake Suddleson, outfielder for the Lugnuts, joining us. Speaking of guys that can swing it, you had your first professional home run over the 23-foot wall in left at Jackson Field the other night. What was that feeling like for you to hit one out?
That was a cool feeling, for sure. And then getting the text from my parents and some of my friends afterwards, the congratulations. Very cool moment. I'm looking forward to doing that. Hopefully a lot more here coming up.
And then wanted to wrap up with your goals, specifically maybe something you're consistently trying to prove on this season, or what you hope to accomplish by the time we finish up here in September.
Yeah. To be honest, I mean, everyone's got the baseball goals. The thing that I've been trying to focus on, just having had the year off and having had all the uncertainty, is just to go out, play, and enjoy it and have fun. I think that sometimes it gets lost. Like, this is so fun what we're doing, and we're very lucky that we get to do this. So I just want to go out there, enjoy it every day, play hard, hopefully play well. But the main thing is just making sure that I'm enjoying every single day and trying to get a little better, every single day.
Thoughts on Big Lug, best mascot you've ever seen?
Best mascot I've ever seen, hands down.
That's all we needed. Jake Suddleson, outfielder for the Lugnuts. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.